Hello everybody. I wanted to make a follow-up video to my Lost Ark review video so that you can maybe determine for yourself whether or not you would like the game. This video is just going to be some Soul Master combat and gameplay. I am in a hard mode dungeon solo. So here we go. I've never done a hard mode dungeon, so this might get a little bit... We'll see how it goes. I'll explain any mechanics that I feel like they need to be explained. Seems easy enough so far. This is an elite over here. I can see him on the map. Hard mode dungeons do give you a chance to get higher level loot. So you can get all the loot that you would get in a normal dungeon, and there's also a chance that you get like the upgraded version. There's a blue version, which is like the common, and then there'd be a rare version, which is purple. So if you do not hard, you can get the purple version of the items that drop from the dungeon. See, I ran out of mana, and my abilities are on cooldown, but if I ult, it replenishes my mana and allows me to cast my spells. This is pretty easy for a hard dungeon. There's 2 bosses in this dungeon, so we'll see how those go. So the way healing works is that you basically have health potions, a set amount of health potions in your inventory, and they heal you over time. Kind of like League of Legends kind of healing, except for it heals you faster than League of Legends. Cooldown is 12 seconds on the potion. I think it heals about 60% of your HP over 5 seconds, 6 seconds. These are items that I'm picking up off the ground. There's items that drop inside the dungeon, and then at the end of the dungeon, you get a chest that you open that has the items that are set for the dungeon. So when you do the dungeon, it tells you have a chance to get these items. At the end, it will drop them like a chest, kind of like Mythic Plus in World of Warcraft. Or dungeons in World of Warcraft. The chest is at the end. Well, as you go through the dungeon, you have a chance to get pretty much any item. That's how I understand it. And I don't read Korean, so I don't know that. Don't quote me on that, but that's how I think it works. I was meaning to to go through all the abilities at the beginning to show you what they do and how I'm using them, but I will at the end if you want to see that. I'll go through all of my abilities at the end. I'm just checking to see if I have any gear I could put on that's better. This dungeon is it's made for one player to play it through in the beginning of it's part of the storyline, and it is made for one player. But there are dungeons that are designed for more than one player. I found that the ones that are designed for more than one player are much, much more difficult. Oh, also, when you're playing, I'm pretty sure this is how it works. While you go through the dungeon, you have 3 lives, basically. And if you use up all 3 lives, then you lose and you have to restart from the beginning. If you're in multiplayer and you die 3 times, it kicks you from the group. I kind of stood in that. I knew I was going to take damage, but I knew I was going to be able to survive it. And I had CC immunity at that because I was using an ability that gives me invulnerability frames in terms of CC. So I just tanked that shit. This boss's mechanics are pretty easy. There's bosses that have different mechanics. Like there was one that I did earlier where he would do a lot of damage close to him, but if you ran away from him, he would basically kill you. So you had to stay close to him and dodge attacks, and if you ran away, he would kill you. There we go. I think my inventory might be full. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the video. If you want to stay, you can stay. I'm going to go ahead and explain all my abilities and what they do. Let me just throw out something I don't need really quick and pick up this item on the ground. Okay, so my abilities. So there's this one, which is a ranged attack. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have any special effects on it or anything. I have this one here, which is mainly for PvP. It knocks the person down and knocks them back. So I think it's called an incapacitation. There's a status in the game where it basically means the player is not in control of their character, like CC. So this ability here does double damage against players or enemies that are under crowd control, basically. So you would use the kick to knock him down or knock him back into the air, and then you'd hit him with that for double damage. Now you have this ability, which knocks everything up into the air, which is nice because if you need it combos with this ability as well. You can do double damage after that. It does a decent amount of damage on impact and during the duration and at the explosion at the end. It's pretty good damage. This ability does pretty good damage, and it does 130% damage to airborne targets. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just an AoE on the ground, and it just deals damage, but a lot of damage, but it has a 20-second cooldown, which is pretty long. This ability, you can spec it into doing more damage and costing more mana and faster attack speed, or you can spec it into costing less mana and having CC effects like 100%. It has a 50% chance to stun, so you can spec into 100% chance to freeze, or you can give it burn damage, which is what I have right now. And there's more abilities here. I'm only using 6 of the 12 or so that I have unlocked, and as I level up I'll get 4 more abilities. But that's also Masterworks. Now some of these other ones, like some of the abilities, like the palm ability, you can reduce the cooldown if you spec into reduce cooldown. You can increase its range by 3 meters, but you have to choose between one or the other. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.